Hey there, I'm Ken. Today I am going to be saving a Windows 10 laptop from the scrap heap using Commodore. You heard right, Commodore. But before I get into that, a little bit of housekeeping. This is my second channel where I am going to be posting more modern videos. And the name of it, Canadian Retro Things 2, didn't really work and also was just a placeholder from the beginning. So I reveal to you now the official name of this channel. Drum roll, please. Brrrr. Canadian Tech Videos. I started working on this computer a long time ago and I ran into a few roadblocks, which we'll get into in the video. It's a Dell Inspiron 13 5000 series. As a Windows 10 computer, it could barely function. So the chances of it running even the most cut down version of Windows 11 were almost none. So rather than scrapping it like Microsoft seems to want everybody to do with slightly underpowered or older computers, I want to give it a new life. So I decided I wanted to do something a little bit more fun with it. I guess that means that we're going to look at what Commodore has to offer for saving this computer. So this is one of my two Inspiron 13 5368s, and I'm going to open this up to show you why this thing is a hot, steaming pile of crap. And we're going to see if we can make it better. So originally I bought these back in 2016. I bought one, my sister bought one, when we first opened up our coffee shop because we thought, nice little touchscreen computer, good compact, should be good to have as a work computer. Well, it was only a month or two into having these that I figured that they were complete e-waste. So today we're going to see if we can keep them from actually becoming e-waste. Now, why exactly, you may ask, am I doing this? Why did I start this second channel to start doing some stuff on newer computers like this? Well, a little while ago, I did a video on my other channel, Canadian Retro Things, which is all about retro computers. But what I did was I upgraded my desktop computer that I use for all my editing and everything. And it ended up that a lot of my family and friends saw me do that, and so they all started wanting me to do similar stuff to their computers. So I've done that to a couple of them, and it got me thinking, you know what, I kind of really enjoy also working on these newer computers, and it's something I've definitely had to learn because I didn't know much about them to start with, so I decided to start this channel. And of course, I also really like just not only keeping older computers from becoming e-waste, it's going to be a big thing about newer computers too, because especially with Windows 11 becoming a must-have, a lot of computers are not going to be supported. I mean, there's ways to get around having Windows 11 on your computer if it doesn't meet the specs for it. But, yeah, a lot of these computers are going to become e-waste just because they don't have Windows 11 or can't run Windows 11. So now we will look at why this computer is such a hot, steaming pile of crap. Right there, we've got some DDR4. Right there, we've got no DDR4. Let us look at this DDR4. If that will focus, we can see that that is 4 gigabytes of DDR4. That's all this computer had. So what am I doing with this one? Well, I have here a kit of 16 gigabytes. So, I'm going to put that in here, as well as just kind of looking around the computer here to see what's what. So of course, you got a Wi-Fi card here, 42-watt battery. The fan, very clean because these computers have hardly ever been used. Now, I did not buy expensive memory for this because, I mean, I don't even know if this is going to work or not, so, or if how well these computers are going to work with the new memory and upgrades and everything. They may still be glorified e-waste, so. You may notice this computer is completely taken apart. Well, this is the one I put more RAM in. And I plugged it in, and it was working fine. It booted up. So I decided I would leave it and charge the battery up completely so that I could test out, the battery life and everything like that in it. Well, I left it charging overnight, came back in the morning, and it would not turn on. What's the problem? Well, something in this computer shorted out. It's grounding it out. How do I know that? Because the charger here, you can see it's got a little green light on it. Well, if I plug it in right now with nothing else hooked up, the green light stays on. That's what's supposed to happen. That means that there's power going into it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put pieces back in one by one, plugging them back in and seeing if I can figure out what is shorted out here. So the first thing, obviously, is hooking the power back up to the main board. All right, power and the monitor are hooked back up. As you can see, I still don't have any memory or anything in here. So, the light went out. That means somewhere on this board, we're shorted out. Some component on here is shorting out the power source. So, how am I going to find that? Well, this is a little bit more than I was expecting on the first thing I was going to do. So, I will randomly go through and keep testing a bunch of stuff on here to see if I can find what's wrong. But the other thing I think I can do is probably just see if I can find a broken computer that I can swap the motherboards out with. Because I'm not sure I'm going to be able to, with my level of knowledge of fixing modern computers, able to actually find what's wrong here. Because somewhere one of these little tiny components is shorting out. So here we are a few months later, and I think I'm going to be able to finally get this computer working. Now, you may have been watching that beginning part thinking, you know what? That computer looks really familiar. I thought you already fixed it. Well, over on my other channel, I did do a video where I actually fixed this computer, which was my sister's one. We bought the two computers together because we thought they would be a good deal. They turned out not to be. So, yeah, complete crap at running Windows 10. No possibility that it's going to run Windows 11. Now, there was a couple of things about this computer that I wanted to address from the comments and stuff. One that a couple of people asked is, does the touchscreen still work with Linux Mint on it? Yes, it does. And I did have to put this computer through its paces by streaming the Coco Nation from it one day. I'm a panelist on that talk show. So, yeah, it didn't do too well. I was unable to use the camera I could stream fine with my voice. I could share my screen. But as soon as I turned the camera on, it completely maxed this computer out. And yeah, it started Cyloning on me. So not great for doing that, but it's completely perfectly usable for playing all the retro games and stuff on it that I put on it. So how about this one? Last we saw it, it wasn't charging. There was something wrong with the board. We diagnosed that. Well, I went through for quite a while now. I've been looking at this board and trying to find what exactly was wrong with it. I was completely unsuccessful. This is just a little bit beyond my ability. So I went and I did find something online. So, let me just get it here. I got this, a cardboard box. And in it is a new motherboard. So it wasn't that expensive. So it's just the main motherboard here. I bought one that was exactly the same chipset and everything. So yeah, it was the cheapest one. I could have gone with a bit more of an expensive one to get a better chipset and everything on it. But yeah, no thanks. I'm just going to be using this for what I'm going to be using it for. So let's get to taking this apart. I've got to take everything off of here, the battery, the hard drive, the fans. Do I have any memory in it right now? No. So once that's all done, then I will just replace this main board. There we go. The motherboard is out. I am still going to try and fix this, but yeah. Let's just set this aside. Time to put in the new one. And here is our shiny new board. All right, well, I finally found the RAM and it is in here. So the next thing I want to do is I have the charger here. And if you can see, the light is on there. Now the problem was when this board was shorting out, as soon as I plugged the charger in, the light would go off. So let's see what happens now when I plug the board in. Charger stays on. So that little problem that we were having seems to be gone. All right, well, let's put the back on this, and then I can try and put an operating system on here. And the operating system that I'm going to try and put on this computer is Commodore OS. And yes, I am talking about that Commodore. So, yeah, I've never actually seen anybody install this Commodore OS. I've only ever heard of it. I purposely didn't watch any videos on it, just so that I could be surprised about what I see when I put this on. So as you can see down on the screen there a little bit, right around here, it says download Commodore OS version 3.0, Commodore's own custom Linux distro that celebrates Commodore's legacy with a unique and fun to use retro-futuristic desktop environment. So this can be found at CommodoreOS.net. So I've already downloaded this, and I am going to be using a very large SD card. I got a 128 gigabyte SD card here for this because this is a very large file. So let's see here. So as you can see, Commodore OS is 36,958,208 kilobytes. So let's open that up. Come on. Oh, I guess I gotta click on it. Oops. Okay, so here we go. Let's start. Okay, it's going to destroy everything. Write an ISO image, yes. It's going to destroy all the data on the SD card, which there is none, so go ahead. And there we go. So it started. I will get back to you when I am done here. Okay, I have the file burnt to this SD card. I did do an initial turn on of this computer because there was a few little weird setups you have to do. Like, for instance, one of the things it will ask you for is a service tag number, which is you can find on the bottom of your computer there. Apparently, that just kind of sets the motherboard that you put into this computer, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, all that's done. So the SD card is in there. Let's see if it boots off of that. Well, we're getting the Dell symbol. That's a good thing. There we go. Commodore OS version, OS Vision X64. So, I guess that's what we want to do. Now, I'm not sure if this is actually putting this onto the hard drive or is this just booting it straight off the SD card. Either way, it's working. There we go. Well, I'll be back. I'm actually going to maybe hook this up so I can capture this screen. And yeah. Play around with it. Take a quick look at what's in here. I would say this just booted off the SD card, though it didn't actually put it into the computer. Okay, so one of the things that I did is I just went through a couple of things here, and so it's doing a Commodore OS Vision installer. So I'm guessing this might be installing it on the hard drive. I don't know what's going on, so. All right, here we go. We've got the Dell ready to go. We can turn it on. And yes, the OS is installed on the hard drive on here. So everything that was going on earlier, it was doing a check of the SD card. And once it had finished that, then it downloaded the OS onto the hard drive here. So this computer is now a Commodore laptop, I guess. So there we go. We are now booted into the Commodore OS, and it's going to start off with the one thing I don't like about it. The music is so very loud. It starts off like absolutely blasting your eardrums out. I got to figure out a way to change it so when it boots, it's got the volume a little bit lower, because that is really annoying. Anyway, other than that, I mean, you can see it's a Commodore desktop. One of the great things about it is that, of course, the touchscreen does still work with this. So I can use the touchscreen to load things up, like Firefox, which is pre-installed on here. It's got a nice little graphic when you close things of kind of the old-fashioned explosion there. So this comes with a ton of stuff preloaded on it. It's a lot less gimmicky than I thought it was going to be. I thought this was going to be just a very gimmicky Commodore-centric OS, but it actually is probably one of the most fully functional OSs I've seen. It comes with an absolute ton of stuff. So down here on the dock down at the bottom here, you can directly access classic Commodore software. There's applications, Firefox, Libra Writer, command line interface, music player, what's that? Synaptic Package Manager, system monitor, desktop, bin. So if you go up to the applications up here, it's definitely the place to see what mostly is on this computer. So you got your entire list of things here. You got accessories with just a crap ton of stuff in there, like PDF viewers and calculators and everything else you could possibly want to, including backing up your software and passwords and everything else, command line interface. Some educational stuff, which I haven't actually looked at yet. Under design, you've got a couple of design FreeCAD and diagram editor. Now, there's a whole ton of Linux games here. I'm not going to get into those today. I'm actually going to do a channel over on my first channel. I'm going to do a video showing a lot of the games and stuff that you can play on here. But yeah, this comes pre-installed with a crap ton of stuff. So if you're a gamer, you can definitely enjoy this Commodore OS here a ton. So then it's got some service and tools, so things like Wine, Steam Gaming, a bunch of other stuff. So Notepad, and there's a bunch of graphics stuff like Amiga Deluxe Paint, Desktop Paint, Blender, Image Viewer, and on the internet it comes with a whole bunch of stuff on the internet like Discord, Firefox, Google Earth, Google Chrome, Spotify. You know, there's not a lot that you may want to download that's not already on here. So going to Office, of course, it's got the entire LibreOffice suite on here, which is great. I've been using that on even my Windows computers. I'm using LibreOffice now so that I can get away from Office 365 and the bloodletting they give you with having to pay for that. Because, of course, LibreOffice is all free. Then programming, you've got some Commodore Basic, Basic 256, yeah, just a bunch of stuff there. Sound, Amiga Sound, C64 SID music editor, Atari 2600 music tracker. Video comes pre-installed with a bunch of video things, but of course down here you've got VLC, which is the one that I use almost exclusively, which is a great thing in my view. System tools, it comes with all your file managers, everything else. Universal access, I'm not even 100% sure what that is. And then it comes with a ton of Commodore emulators, which I'll get into in my other video. And then just other emulators. There's like the Commander X16, Atari 2600, Nintendo, Sony PlayStation, ZX Spectrum, Sega Saturn, all of these. Now, of course, most of these don't come complete. You have to supply your own ROMs and everything for them, but yeah, they're there for you to load up. You don't have to go hunting these down. So all in all, I would say that the Commodore OS is surprisingly well-rounded and way less gimmicky than I thought it was going to be. There we go. I guess I've now got a Commodore laptop. And yeah, Commodore OS has saved that laptop from the scrap pile, which is awesome. And as a Linux distro, I'm actually fairly surprised because going into this, I did not really know what to expect. But it's a lot more of a functioning distro than I thought it would be. It's a lot less of a gimmick. So yeah, you could definitely use this as your everyday computer. So it's yeah, pretty neat. And definitely over on my other channel, I'm going to get into a lot of the gaming on this. So looking forward to filming that because I do love my gaming, both modern and retro. So this is the part of the video where I say thank you to my patrons, and of course, if you want to become a member of my Patreon, then the link is down in the description, and it will make you a Patreon of both my first channel and this channel. So thank you, patrons whose names are going by on the screen. All right, well, I guess I have nothing else to say. I hope you're going to check out the second part of this video over on my first channel. So, yeah, until the next modern thing I find to play with, I will see you later.